Hi, I'm Wanda with Jimmy Branch Homestead, and today I am going to be assembling this chicken hoop coop that I got from Temu, or at least trying to. So I have the base all laid out, and so I just need to go back. It's kind of like putting together a tent because it has the little push buttons, which is nice. So if you ever have to take it apart, you could take it partially apart probably and move it, or you could take it completely apart. So I have all the parts sorted and on the ground. And like I said, I have the first part laid out. Oops. Hopefully you can see that. Oh. I'm just going to kind of go push button those in, and then I'll be back and we'll look at the next step. Okay, I'm going to get the next set of parts out and then I'll be back. Okay, so next I'm going to add the corner post and the curves at the top and then the braces. I need to check real quick and make sure these I put on the inside, and I need to make sure they might supposed to go on the outside. No, it shows them. On the inside at the bottom. Okay. Looks like I'm doing it right. And I'm just going to go around and put all the bolts and nuts in and just finger tight them, and then I'll come back and tighten them when I'm done. Just to make sure everything fits together square. I don't know if you can see me when I'm working on those corners or not. Okay, so I'm going to check my parts and get them together for the next steps. Okay. So I have one of the sidebars in here. The other one goes in here. Okay, so then the curved ones go on the long side here. Well, my battery died and my husband brought me another. But I'm really trying to get this project done, so I kept working on it anyway. So I'm not sure where the battery died at, but I got the arches in and I got the door frame, but it's not all tightened yet because I have to work with the door before I tighten everything down. So I'm trying to get the door mounts on. And this what holds the hinge here. And again, I'm putting the bolt from the inside to the outside. I mean, the bolts is what takes the longest. A lot of it just popped together, which was really nice. Okay. Let me see, I need... It's barely started on here. So that I can get this little part that holds the gate inside here. Let me see if I can figure this out. Uh-oh. Starting to ice rain, wouldn't you know it? I'm going to have to get the camera in. Unfortunately, let me get this under here. See if I can, it's under the roof as long as it's not coming in at a slant. I need to figure out which way this goes on here. Doesn't really show it. There's no written instruction. It's the only thing I don't like about this booklet. It gives you diagrams, but no written instructions at all. It's really getting cold. Well, I'll get the framing done today. I just won't be able to get the netting on today. And I think it's supposed to do this all day tomorrow. That's why I was really hoping to get this project done today. This stuff wasn't supposed to come in until after dark. But as you can see, it came in early. All right, oops. Oh. What the heck? Okay. Okay, that looks pretty parallel. So let me go ahead and tighten up this one. Now I know it looks crooked at the very bottom a little bit, but that's because we're on a hill. And so I've leveled it up this way, parallel. So it's not going to be completely level at the top and bottom. More so at the top, it looks like. Not so much at the bottom because of the hill. Okay. So that's how we open and close the gate. So now I'm just going to kind of tighten all of the bolts now for the frame. Now that I got it to where I want it. Okay. So that does it for the frame. It feels like it quit raining, or the ice rain. So I'm going to turn the camera off for a moment, and I'm going to see if it looks like maybe I can get more of it done. Okay, I was just starting to get ready to roll out the chicken wire that goes up and over, and we started getting ice, rain, and sleet again. So I'm going to have to quit for the day, unfortunately. Okay, so we got caught in the sleet and rain a couple days ago. Well, 3 days ago. So that continued on for a couple days after that. And we have clear skies today, but it has been really cold. So I had to take care of chicken waters and all that kind of stuff in the morning. It's in the afternoon now, so it's a little bit warmer. It's still pretty cold. Not too bad if the wind's not blowing, but when that wind blows, it is cold. So I can't remember what all I got on film last time when the camera died, but I did get the framework up here, and then the door and the lock-in. I might have to think about how I want to do a lock better than that so that coyotes can't knock that or something. I'll have to think about that. And then I realized I have 2 of these left over, and it's because that upper bar in the back is not installed at the top. And it's not installed at the top because this went down the middle And so I talked to Wade and said, what do I do? He said, just move that about 1 inch to the right, which it looks like this one's offset anyway. So it won't really hurt that, and that way I can go ahead and get that wall reinforced. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that now. And I'm going to try and do this with gloves, but I'm not sure I'll be able to too much. That. Now, this is the stakes that came with the kit to hold this down. And I'm here to tell you, once I get the top on, if the wind comes up, it's just going to yank these smooth stakes, skinny wussy stakes right out of the ground. So I went to Walmart and got some actual tent stakes. They're too big to go through those holes, so I may use these still in the holes and then use the tent stakes like in the corners and stuff to really hold them down. And I did not get the round peg like large nail stakes because again they're smooth. And so this is the type of stake that I got. So before I put the netting on, I need to secure this to the ground. So, because I want it up against here and I can't do that until I put on the... Okay, I forgot I can't put those on yet. Oh, I guess you couldn't see me at the bottom anyway. I need to put the netting over the top first so I can move the whole thing up against the fence. Because I don't want to have to weed eat in that little 1 foot space and tear up the chicken wire from weed eating. So I do need to do that first. So I'm going to turn off the camera for a couple of minutes while I get the roll ready to roll out. Okay, so I have the roll on the ground over there, and I'm just pulling it up over the top of the coop. And hopefully you can see the bottom there. I'm going to fasten it. I still have to pull it back over this last bar, and then we're going to fasten it with these cable ties that came in the kit. So one thing I do like about this chicken wire that goes over it, it is plastic coated, so that helps to keep it from rusting. Also, because it's a darker color, it's actually easier to see your chickens if you want to check on them at a glance from outside the coop. need to go ahead and get this tied down. Let me see. Hopefully that does it. And I'm going to put one in at this corner at the bottom and one up the side. And then I'm going to go back and put one in the corner there and one about a foot up the side. And then I'm going to come back here and work it up around. And then I'll have to go in the back and work it all the way around. Okay, this is going to take quite a while, so I'm going to go ahead and get at least halfway done, and then I'll kind of show you where I'm at and continue on. Okay, so I have put the zip ties on this end where the door is, from the ground up over to the ground over here. So I am going to go ahead and go on the back side and do the same thing, pulling it taut. It takes me quite a while by myself, but if you have 2 or 3 people doing it, it would go pretty darn fast. Okay, so I got the top done from the bottom all the way over the top and over the side. And it took me all afternoon, but that's a lot of zip ties. And then my husband comes out and goes, "Where's your zip tie gun?" I forgot. Okay, so my battery died on me again yesterday, and I didn't get to show you what I finished doing. So I did get the wire nice and taut from end to end. I still need to cut it off, but what I did is went ahead and shoved it in place up against the fence, and I had a big gap down here. So what I did was I put these boards cut, and this one I had to cut to size, and then I just screwed at an angle to hold it on the board. And of course I'm going to have the wire run down to the ground, and then I will come back and use Predator Guard and put 2 feet up and then 2 feet out on the ground. So I forgot to go check and see how much of that I have left. I may have to get some more of that. But again, this build is really the chicken coop from Temu. So I'll show you what it is, and then I'll show you the modifications that I'm going to make to it. And the modifications may be in another video. But I do want to get this put together. So today, I'm going to cut this off, and then I'm going to run the wire across the back and get that zip tied into place. Again, I'll have to try and pull it fairly taut. And I want it to go all the way to the ground because you might be able to see there's about 1 inch underneath this section of the coop. And it's up like that on design because these little pedestals that they have, see, it's just that my ground is so uneven that it's not really up there. So that's what really, without the board, this end was about 3 inches in the air. So I had to compensate using the board. Okay. So it's quite cold today out. We had a couple days of rain there, and then last night it got down to almost single digits. It was real low teens. And of course it took me much longer doing my chicken chores this morning because I currently have basically 4 coops, 3 plus the chicken tractor. And I had to dig out all the ice and give them fresh, good water. So, and then of course I filled up the feeders. When it's raining, I don't like to fill the feeders, so I try to keep them full, and if I know it's going to rain, come out and fill them before it does, so that they last for a couple days. And then I had to get new feed into the feed buckets, or barrels. So that took me longer to do chores today than normal. But I'm going to go ahead and pause, get set up, and then I'll be back. Okay, so one tool that the kit does not come with that you will definitely need is a pair of good wire cutters. So I got these from Harbor Freight. Yes, they were new, so this is the first time I used them, but they worked great to go through. The one thing you need to remember is when you're cutting the wire through here, make sure the next wire is not in the plier part, because if it is, it will not allow the cutter to close and actually cut the wire. The other thing, and it's not a have to, but it's a very nice tool to have, is a zip tie gun. And you basically put the tail of the zip tie through here and pull the trigger, and it just keeps making it tighter. And then when it gets tight, it just cuts it off. So it's very quick and easy. Makes a big difference in the amount of time it takes you to do the zip tie portion. Again, not a have to, but definitely a nice tool to have. Okay, so I am going to go try to stand that up over there and put a couple in place, and then I'll be back. Okay, so this definitely would be a part that would be easier with 2 people, so that one person could kind of hold the wire up and pull while the other person is going down the side and the top. But I got down the shorts like halfway down here where it, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so I have it fastened to up here. I started at the bottom to make sure that I'm going to be able to strap it around the pole. So standing up is how you would roll this out to make sure you're going to have enough wire. And it will go from pole to pole, barely. So you have to make sure that you keep it even and you're not wasting any. So I tried to pull it snug, and I just put 1 in here for now in the middle to hold it, and I have to go back now and pull it to make sure I can fasten it to the bottom while pulling that direction. Oops. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that or not. I'll see what I can do. And I don't have to go as close right now, just to make sure it can stay fastened. I'll probably go like every foot, and then I'll go back and add more to make sure it's going to stay where it needs to. It's kind of hard to do with gloves on. Okay, so I got this half done. I got it snugged down. Oh, I'm losing things here. Oops. So I want to pull it up and kind of stretch it to make sure it's going to stay taut. And this is where gloves are handy because it kind of hurts otherwise. Oops. And I'll go ahead and, once I get it taut, I'll go back and add them every 4 to 6 inches so nothing can get in, especially around the sides and the bottom. Okay, where'd that other one go there? And you don't want to put the nubs on the top because you don't want them to wear holes in your tarp. So you want to make sure they're facing kind of downward on the top ones. Okay. Okay, so I got the entire end all stretched and cable tied down, and then I got the roll cut off over here at this end, and I wanted to show you. Be sure and cut, hopefully that shows up on video, your fencing about 1.5 loopholes past your metal. Some of them show in the instructions cutting it off at the metal. I don't want to take any chances of this coming apart. And the proper way to join your chicken wire is to bring it around the side and then loop it into the other one. And I've done that all the way down here. And then these are loose so I can show you. Let's see. Trying to see how it'll show up. Now I cut it off straight at the roll. I have not cut it off here yet. I was debating on putting it all over that way. I decided against that. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to cut them off 1.5 inches, or a hole and a half above the metal, just like I did here, and do the same thing and fasten it down inside here. You want to make double sure that none of these are poking up to where they're going to tear up your tarp, because boy, they will tear that up quick. So I have this end done, with the exception of cutting it off up here and finish getting all these worked in. And again, you're going to bend it over and loop it around the other side. Okay, I am back again on another day, hoping to finish up this project today. So all I have left is this side with the door. So we're going to do that in 3 different pieces. Oh, probably more than that. So I'm going to start off with one side, and I'll just have to stand this up, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this with my gloves on. It's pretty cold today. It's not supposed to get out of the low 30s. I don't think it was supposed to get out of the 20s, but it was like 29, 30 when it came out. Excuse me. Asthma in the cold induces it more. It's not real windy, but that breeze when it blows is quite cold. So I'm going to start off with taking my roll. And I need to start at the highest point here. Oops. My gloves have that little hook on them, and they keep hooking in the wire, so I guess I'll have to take that off. I'm probably going to have to take them both off anyway. I can't manipulate stuff too good. Oh, before I do that, my husband suggested that I take this one off. Instead of making them both where you lift off, put that one in where it's facing down. So if some predators come and try to push up on this gate door, it won't take it off the hooks like that. He's used a lot of these in the past, So that's why he suggested that. Oops. Well, it don't matter because that's coming off. Okay, so okay, so that's changed out now so that the piece on the door faces up, and see, you can't lift it off. Okay, now and I went and got my zip ties that are stronger. Okay. Okay, so I got the first one fastened up, and then I just put the roll around to the end. And I'm grabbing zip ties and just have to pull it straight to get it going. So I have to do this side first. Tippy, stay back. I don't want you watching I don't want you knocking that over. I decided not to put the tarp on tight because I'm going to have to do some reinforcements. If you live where there's a lot of snow, this will not hold up with a snow load. There's not enough bracing. If you live in a warm climate where there isn't any snow, it would probably work okay. But then you have to consider predators, and I'm gonna do some upgrades to this when I'm done with it. That will be in a different video. This video is just showing putting it together as it comes in the box. Okay, I'm gonna pull it tight this way. Get that big old bow out of there. Try. Okay. Here, can you put this around through here? I'm holding it. Oh, you want to put one up there first?
You should.
Here. Here's the thing if you want it. Yeah, it's harder to work with everything when it's cold.
Yep, because things don't move the way they're supposed to. See all this? Look at it.
Well, I haven't got that yet.
That's why you need to do the bottom first. Here, I'll pull it tight.
It's not coming tight. What's going on here? Let me just pull something apart.
Oh no, did you?
I don't know.
So put some in there.
There's a bubble in there. I just can't get tight enough to get it out. There we go. Wait a minute. There. Just pulling it out. Oops. Oh. There, it's trying to pull it out. Ah. Let's see. It's hard to get those through the holes sometimes. Okay, Wade changed out the camera stand for me because I was having trouble with it collapsing. I apologize for all the rooster noises. It's like they compete with each other. I don't know if you can see me down here for sure, hopefully. I'm just keep pulling this thing over to get it as tight as I can. Man. Since we're expecting up to 12 inches of snow tonight now, Wade just went to the store to get some last minute things. Because we most likely will be snowed in for a few days. We're always the last they get to as far as plowing. When I'm doing this corner, I'm making sure I go through the other, the end chicken wire also. Make sure they're tight together so something can't pull it apart and get in between there. Okay, need to get me some more. As I'm adding chicken coops, I'm trying to keep them fairly close together to make it much easier on me when I'm doing chores. If I had them on opposite sides of the property, that wouldn't be convenient at all. Okay. Me. I stand here. Try and pull it up as much as I can. Hawk, you're making an awful lot of noise over there. Let's do it this way. Okay. Let me see if I can bring in close to show you what I mean. Can't see. Okay, so here is where the side of the loop was, or the octagon in the chicken wire. And I wanted to make sure I have as long as a lead here as I can to bend it around the chicken wire underneath. And that'll leave where I'm cutting it off right at the edge of one of the octagons. You want to be at least 1 to 1.5 loops from the edge so that you have a good overlap. And then see, I can just go in here and bend it under. I probably should have even went one more over. Would have been even better. Well, this one's going to work fine there. And you want to go around at least once. And then remember, you don't want these sharp ends out where it's going to poke into any tarps. Okay, I think I'm gonna, when I keep going up this way, it's gonna be out further, so it'll work. And then I just kind of work my way back in so I don't get too far out here. See, and that'll go under just perfect. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting this because it won't all get on camera. And then I'll be back shortly. Okay, Wade helped me to stretch this one out and get it tied down so it would be a lot quicker. I'm running out of daylight and I had to stop and take care of some other stuff with a foot of snow coming, so I overlapped this side of the chicken wire, 2 octagons. I'm going to try having the door opening inside, and this will be a little bit of protection up against the door. I've taken the door off because I'm going to use hardware cloth. Oh, I won't be able to do what I'm thinking if I do that up there. Above, I'm going to put hardware cloth on the door and try and get it up to as high as this. I'll still need to put something up there, which I'll probably use the other chicken wire to do that, just because I don't want something to cut through the tarp. As I mentioned, since we're getting 12 inches of snow, I'm not going to put the tarp on. So I have all the sides done here except for the door, and I'm going to quickly try to finish it. So I just needed to see how wide my wire is. Almost perfect, but I'm going to have to cut it down. Let's see. So I'm going to lay it on the ground. Oops. I don't think you can see that there. That wind is really getting cold. Okay. See if you can see that way. What do I do with that? Okay, I found a longer piece which will definitely work. decided to take this last one off on the far side here until I get this side down, because I don't want it to go past the edge here of the door. Okay, it is 5:15 p.m. and getting awfully cold, but I did get the door pretty well finished. I do need to get the hardware put back on for the lock, and I'll do that, but I wanted to show you that I went up higher with the hardware cloth, and it hit just perfect where it hits the next bar up. So this will be a door opening this way door. I also extended it on the bottom and the side over here. However, I do need to take off one more row of the little squares here all the way up and down, because it's catching up on the door. And I think I have to cut it around here also, because it seems like it's binding. But other than that, it's pretty well done. I am going to take a scrap of the green chicken wire and put across the top here. So this coop will not keep snakes out, will not keep predators out that will eat through chicken wire, like raccoons. They can chew right through that stuff. What I will do in another video is a lot of upgrades to this. I didn't put the tarp on because, as I mentioned earlier, we're expecting 12 inches of snow. So that's coming in tonight. We're going to get below 0 and 12 inches of snow. So it's going to be miserable the next few days. And I'll be spending most of my time taking care of chickens, because I'll have to check several times a day to make sure that their water does not freeze. For my rooster in the in the chicken tractor, I didn't want him to get 12 inches of snow on him, so we did put plywood over the top. He has this one little spot open. His water dish is right there, so when I have to get the ice off it tomorrow, I have to take plywood off this whole side. But that will at least keep him from getting 12 inches of snow inside his whole cage. My other chickens all have covered runs like this. So if it blows, of course, they could get snow in there. My hoop coops, I'll need to come out and sweep them off first thing in the morning when I'm getting the ice off their water, so that they don't collapse. I have 2 home built from scratch hoop coops. Hopefully this one will hold up okay, but we'll have to get snow off of that too, because the supports are quite a ways apart. It's not really made for a snow load. Got all the chickens closed up. Well, I gotta still close that coop, but So if you're enjoying this type of video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share our videos on your social media. It's the best way you can help our channel to grow. Thank you so much for watching Jimmy Ranch Homestead. Take care and God bless.